Hey everybody, it's Captain Shane. I'm back in the Level Up 737. I just flew it last night, but I wanted to try something new here. Um, I have updated my Zibo mod to the latest version. I think it's dash 40, 19 April. So basically how the Level Up and the Zibo work is they are different aircraft, right? Different models, different textures, different flight models, but they share the same cockpit architecture, meaning they both use the same plugin to operate all the systems, right? The FMS, the buttons up here, the overhead, the FMCs, all that stuff is driven by the Zibo plugin, and they're cross-compatible. And I've never updated it. I only update the Zibo mod when I update the Level Up version, which has not been updated in months. So I'm way behind on this. And apparently, there's a lot of things that have been fixed in the cockpit that I'm kind of excited to see what they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my checklist from scratch tonight and see what all is working and the different changes, if I can notice things that are working better that they weren't before. So we'll just go ahead and start by getting some ground power on the aircraft. Okay, and we'll make sure the landing gear lever is down. Parking brake, I'm going to release it. Okay, battery power is coming on. Ground power is coming on. Cockpit lights will adjust. Get these. Okay, we'll test. Making sure all of our enunciators work. Oh, looks like it works to me. I'll leave it on bright. Alright, mock airspeed warning tests. See if that works. Okay, that works. And then the stall warning test has never worked before, so I'm going to try it now. We'll see if it works. Uh-oh. I don't think it works. Try it again. Bummer. Well, this is one of the things that was allegedly fixed in the update, but apparently that's still not working. So that's kind of a bummer. Alright, no stall warning. Okay, I'll have to report that. IRSs. Window heat. Probe heat. Emergency lights. Seatbelts. Although we don't carry packs on this. Alright, position lights. Logo lights on. Wing lights will well. Don't need it. Jip whiz. Let's see if the jip whiz works.
Glide slow.
Okay, well that works.
Pull up.
Fire.
Wind shear. Wind
Test.
shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle.
Cargo fire.
Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed low.
EFIS panel. Takeoff warning. Hey, wait and balance. Okay. Weight balance. First of all, let's start with our fuel load tonight. We're going to have 13.5. I'll get the fuel truck rolling. And let's work on payload. Alright, so payload, we've got cargo weight tonight's going to be 29.2. 29.2. Let's go ahead and start loading that up. So let's do 6,500 in the back, 4,200 in the front, 20, 30, 30. CG's pretty far forward. Let's start adding some aft. 29.5. We'll take a few out of here and put more back here. Well, I like that CG. It's a little bit aft though. Let's see if we can move it forward just a little bit. So let's go 15 here, 14 there. Yeah, I like the CG because as we add fuel to the aircraft, it will shift the CG further aft. Let's confirm that real quick. As we take on fuel, this CG, there you go. See, the CG's moving aft, so that's perfect. That'll put us in around 23, 24% CG, which is good for this aircraft. All right. Weight and balance is set. Position initialization. So we are at PASC, which is Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. And we're going back to Barrow, which is where we flew out of last night with my aborted attempt at shared flight with somebody. Kind of bummed out that didn't work out. I don't know if it was actually the shared flight plug-in or if that was just something on his end. So, not entirely sure here. So we are ASA 7030. And then the route is very simple tonight. We just have SCC. And then we're going to Okike. O-K-I-K-E. Then we're going to Seji. I don't know how to say that. S-E-J-Y-Y. S-E-J-Y-Y. Direct to Barrow. B-R-W. This is less than a 200-mile flight, so this won't take long at all. And then departure. Looks like we're going to use runway 24. And arriving at Barrow on runway 26. And we'll look for the RNAV for runway 26. Let's take a look at what that looks like on our flight plan here. We'll go straight in. So RNAV final will be just fine getting in there. So no transition. Okay, looks good for now. We'll deal with the discontinuities once we're in the air. So the route is done. So let's go route, activate, execute. Let's do our performance initialization. Zero fuel weight set. Reserves is always 7,000. The cost index tonight for the flight plan is pretty low. It's... oh, what do we got here? Cost index of 9. That's pretty slow. Flight level is 280. We'll see if we even get there. Cruise wind is going to be 245 at 31. 245, 31. That's about a 21 knot headwind component. And the ISA offset is -9. What would that even be? I don't even want to mess with that. We'll leave it. Okay, got fuel on board, so let's execute that. Now we'll plan our N1 limit here. Takeoff weight's 127. Let's see what we got for takeoff performance tonight. 127. Flaps 5. Disabled. -2 degrees. That's cold, man. It's too cold here. Okay. D-rated takeoff 1. Temperature 54. Flaps 5. 128, 128, 131. Nah, it doesn't make any difference, does it? Okay. So, 54. TO1. 86.1 on the N1. Flaps 5. CG is set. And these numbers are close enough to ours, we can use them. Okay, so we're all set. FMC is checked and set. Alright, crew, will be right back, and then we'll go ahead and run this final cockpit prep checklist. 1 second. Alright, crew, I'm back. Thanks for your patience. Nighttime here is always busy. You got kids getting ready for bed and all that other stuff. Okay. Final cockpit preparation checklist. Fuel quantity is set by altitude. 28 plus 1. Landing altitude is going to be basically sea level. FMC is checked and confirmed. Flight directors on. Auto throttle armed. MCP airspeed set V2, 131. MCP heading will be the runway heading, which is 238. What's beeping at me here? Using reserve fuel, are we? No, we're not. MCP altitude, we're going to set that to 280. The altimeters. Weather at Barrow is wind 3305, 10 statute miles visibility, overcast at 6,000 feet, temperature -2, brrr. Altimeter 2957. Okay, cross-checked. Auto brakes. RTO. Radios. We're on the CTAF for Barrow. Nav, there's no ILS, anything that I need here. TCAS is 2217. 2217. Taxi, takeoff, departure brief. All right, crew. We are currently on the ground here at Prudhoe Bay. We're at the Alaska Air Terminal. We parked here yesterday, but they towed us over here because I didn't actually park in the right spot, and this is where they want to do the loading. For this flight, we have 13,000 pounds of fuel. I have a 7,000 pound reserve. Let's see here. Plenty of fuel here. I don't anticipate any threats. There's minimal risk here on this flight. There's essentially no traffic here today. There's no ATSIM ATC. So we're going to be flying by ourselves. If we run into another aircraft up here... Oh! Speaking of the devil. There's a plane that just took off from here? Is that... That can't be. Wow, I was going to say there's no traffic up here, and then there's literally a plane. I wonder who that is. Let's check that out. That's surprising. Yeah, look at that. I said there's nobody up here, and there's literally somebody up here. What are they flying? I don't even know what kind of aircraft that is, but okay, well. I guess there's traffic here. Our direction of flight is to the west. No issue with that. There is no takeoff. There's no standard instrument departure here. So the plan is we're going to taxi to runway 24 via Delta Alpha, hold short, and then depart. After 400 feet, we're gonna start direct to Seiji. Oki. We're gonna fly direct to there. And there's really that's it for your brief, guys. Not much else going on here. Okay, before start pushback checklist. Lower MFD is on engine. Oh, this is something that it's nice to see. On previous versions of the Zibo mod, the digital N1 readout was missing here for your limits. It's back now. So that's something that I really missed from a previous version. We got our N1 limits back in green. All right, APU. Coming on. Doors and windows are closed. The cockpit windows are open on purpose. Yaw dampers on. Electric hydraulic pumps. Fuel pumps. Parking brake. Set. Alright, as the APU spools up. Sorry. As the APU spools up, I'm going to get my desk set up and be ready to go. Turn on the webcam too. Stand by. All right, let's see how this looks. Okay, let me check my webcam here, see if it's looking good. Okay, throttles. Yeah, looks good. Okay, AP generators. Little chocks. Remove. Ground power unit, remove. Anti-collision lights on. Trim air is not installed. Engine bleeds are off. APU bleeds on. Engine start, we're going to go ignition right today. ACARS. Let's make sure I got ACARS set up so we can get credit for our flight. I do not have it on. That's why it's on my checklist, guys, because so many of my people always forget to do it, and then they have to file a manual PIREP. And eventually, you can't keep doing that all the time, or you'll get rejected. So I have it on my have it on my checklist so I don't forget. Hey, Tweedle. Yeah, it's cold up here, dude. This is as far north as you can get without going off into the ocean here. Uh-oh. What's up with smart cars? That's not good. I don't think smart cars is working tonight. We'll give that a minute. Push to start clearance. We're cleared to start here. We need to be very aggressive with the way we get out of here, though. So, wing walkers. Alright, push to start clearance is good. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. I may have to do a manual pirate because smart cars is not logging in. I might post on the let me post something on my Discord's on my VA Discord server. I might have to do a manual pirate myself. Okay, let's go ahead and start engine 1. Rotation in 2. Not the end of the world. Alright, positive oil pressure, fuel on. Fuel flow, EGT. Alright, we'll start on engine number 1. Starting 2. Positive oil pressure. Fuel on. Oil pressure lights out. Yeah, dude, I like Barrow. I don't check this place out. It's pretty fun. Okay, good start on engine number 2. Starter valves closed. Have to start checklist. Engine and wing anti-ice definitely on. APU, see, engine bleeds are on. APU bleeds are off. Packs on. Isolation valve closed. Engine generator 1 and 2. APU secured. Ground signal. Okay. Clear left, clear right. Taxi checklist. Flaps and slats. Flaps 5 set. Stab trim. 5 point. Oh, hold on. 5.5 aircraft nose up. Okay, takeoff data. 128, 129, 131. Got them on there. Takeoff thrust setting. Looks like 85.1 is available. Transponder. EARA. Taxi light. On. Floor MFD. System. Taxi clearance. Okay. Let me make my call here. Crudo traffic. Whoa, why am I hearing myself? That's weird. Hold on, let me try something here. Barrow traffic, Alaska 7030, taxi runway 24 via Delta Alpha. Alright, taxi takeoff departure brief, no change. Alright guys, let's see if we can get out of here. It's a little tight. Parking brake released. Okay, noticeable steering checks left and right, and the brakes checked. Okay, flight controls. Ailerons left, ailerons right, elevator up, elevator down, rudder left, rudder right. The flight controls are checked. Before takeoff checklist, lower MFD is off. VNAV. And let's go ahead and select for the initial departure there. ICAS checked, no alerts. Exterior lights, radar on, register switch is continuous. Yeah, I don't want to talk to myself, man. That's a little weird. I'm bad enough. I'm already an only child, so you know, I talk to myself enough. Alright, crew. We're clear on the left, clear on the right. TCAS is clear. Barrow traffic, Alaska 7030, departing runway 24 to the west. Alright, crew. Alright, we're going to do a little ice shedding procedure here since it's below 2 degrees Celsius. I want to make sure I don't got any ice on my fan blades here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to run up to 40%, stabilize, run up to 70%, hold it for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and set takeoff thrust. So I got my feet firmly on the brake pedals here. Okay, stabilized. Set 70%. Chrono. Alright. Give that 30 seconds and we'll let the brakes go and we're gonna hit it. Yeah, you gotta get some of these, man. Come on, Malps. Alright. I think we're good on that. Clock started. Set takeoff thrust. Thrust set.
knots.
Auto hold.
V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Alright, let's get direct Okie. LNAV. Okay, we're in the soup here a little bit. This overcast layer we should break out around 6,000 feet. A little bumpy here. Okay, flaps 1. Flaps up. Okay, accelerating for 250. I see you guys typing in the chat. I'll be right with you. I'm still flying with the autopilot off, so I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Okay, there's 250 knots. Let's pitch up, grab that airspeed. There you go. I told you 6,000 feet for that overcast layer, right? Alright, I'm using pitch to maintain that airspeed. Thousand feet. Look at that airspeed control, guys. Don't act like you're not impressed. Alright, 10,000 feet, autopilot on. Alright, let me get caught up on the chat here. Hey Pat, nice to meet you, man. I don't know if we've spoken before. I'm really happy to have you with us, man. I think you're going to find that X-Plane 12 is a much more rewarding flying experience than Microsoft Flight Simulator. And if you ever need any help learning a 737, I'm your guy, man. I know this plane very well. and I'll be happy to help you. I hope you'll stick around, and welcome. Where do I get that BLAW script? Because I've heard about it before. I really want it because I need to tone down the Bloomer flag. Malps, if you got a link to that, can you drop it in the chat or send it to me on Discord? Because I don't think you can put links in my chat. Hi crew, climbing through 1-2000 for 280. Let's get the after takeout checklist. Landing gear up, lights out, handle off. Flaps are up. Auto brakes off. ICAS, no alerts. Exterior lights. Engine start switches. Holding on altimeters. Oh, that's great, Pat. If you have any questions while we're flying, by all means, please ask. But what I'll do in the meantime is, as I'm doing stuff, I'll kind of explain what it is that I'm doing. But if you have any questions, please ask away. My favorite thing to do is to teach people stuff. So right now, you see we have a discontinuity in our flight plan, right? And it kind of looks like this. It's kind of a mess here, look. So the flight plan currently has us going to Barrow via WAR, but that's right over the airport and our approach is behind it. So what I'm gonna do to connect these lines is I'm gonna go down to the first fix on the approach. I'm going to click here and drag it up to right here. Then I'm going to hit execute, and now watch what that does for our flight plan. See? It connects the dots, and it makes it a much more normal LNAV approach. Okay, altimeter standard. After takeoff checklist complete. My pleasure, dude. Hey, Pat, I got you beat. From 2006 to 2011, I flew about 3,000 hours on VATSIM. Then I took a 13-year break. I just came back to flight simming last year after 13 years off of VATSIM. If you go look at my VATSIM CID, you'll see a huge break in my flights from like 2011 to 2024. 13-year break, but I'm back, man. A little bumpy up here. Alright guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check, make sure my kids are in bed. You have the aircraft. Alright, crew, I'm back. Kids are in bed. Yeah, Pat, I was flying on VATSIM. Actually, I started in 2005. So I was in the Army, and after I got back from Iraq, I was 20 years old, and I really had an itch for flight simming. So I started doing VATSIM 2005. I have a 6-digit CID number. You can look me up on VATSIM stats. There you go. That's my number. I've had it for longer than you've been alive, my dude. Hi, Melps. Thank you for that that blog. I'll take a look at it when I land.
1,000 to go.
Oh, 1,000 to go, crew. And look at that, we're breaking out right over the weather. Look, it's almost like our flight planners knew what they were doing today, right? Sunglasses on. I don't know, whoever came up with this cruise speed is out of their mind. I'm not doing that. Okay. We got plenty of push-em-up fuel here. See that? We got plenty of push-em-up fuel. So here's what we're gonna do, because this is way too slow. We'll be here all night like this. Let's go to menu, FMC, sorry, index, performance. Let's do cost index 64. Let's see what that gives us. Yeah, that's a little better. 0.76 Mach. I don't want to be cruising at a 0.64, dude. That's ridiculous. What is it you're trying to update exactly? The Zibo plugin or the actual aircraft? Here, I got something you can take a look at if you want to know all about updating the aircraft. Check this out. Stand by. This is how you, everything you want to know about level up updating, Zibo updating, right there. So the current version of the level up is U.1.0.3, and you're going to want to use my flight model edits because theirs is broken. And then you're going to want the latest Zibo mod, which is updated almost like twice a month. Yeah, we'll talk back in Discord, Malps. That's kind of a process, but I'll help you with it. Let's just get this thing on the ground first. Alright, top of descent's coming up pretty quick here. Let's run our descent and approach checklist. Let's get landing data. Current gross weight is 124.4. We're going to burn about 1,500 pounds of fuel. So let's call it 123 even on the landing weight. Let's calculate our landing performance here. Alright, 7,100 foot runway. I don't agree with the auto brakes max. We'll use auto brakes 3. V approach is 135, which gives us a VREF of 130. We'll plan for a full length rollout, so auto brakes 3 is enough. And we'll use full reverse. So we'll do flaps 30, 130. So VREF plus 5 is our VAP is your approach speed, and it's typically, if you're just doing a standard wind correction with no gust additive, 130 plus 5 gives you a V approach of 135. We'll do auto brakes 3. Taking a look at the runway at Barrow. We're going to land straight in on runway 26. We'll plan on a full-length rollout. We should have no issues making taxiway alpha. bit in the event that we need a little more distance, we can take it all the way to the end and do a 180 turn and come back around. I don't think we're going to need it, though. This is plenty of runway for us. We are on the the RNAV runway 26 on final. Should look just like this. So here's our approach plate. RNAV 26. So we're gonna go direct to ASCII, which is the final approach fix here, or the initial approach fix rather. I'm sorry. We need to be at 2,000 feet there, and then from there we'll step down to 1,700 feet at Zoom 2. We'll fly this as a continuous descent approach. So we need to be at or above 2,000. So we can be higher as we keep this as a continuous descent. And then from Zoom 2, we'll shoot a 3-degree glide path down to the runway threshold, which is at 50 feet. The minimums here are 246 Barrow, because we are LPV equipped. In the event of a missed approach, we'll climb a 2,000 direct to Obson and hold. But what we're actually going to do is we're just going to fly a left-hand traffic pattern, come back around and shoot the approach again if we go missed. The minimum descent altitude is going to be in the terminal area arrival altitude, so 2,000 feet within 30 miles of this fix here. Let me know if you have any questions, crew. Alright, that chime says reset MCP altitude, so we'll go ahead and set it down to 10,000 feet for now, and I'll set it lower as we get closer. Okay, throttles to retard. So our auto throttle is going into retard mode, which means it's gonna go down to idle, and we're gonna start our VNAV descent right now. Alright, crew, heading down. Wow, look at that. That's gorgeous. Okay, arrival and approach briefing is performed. Decision altitude. Let's set that. 246 Barrow. Seatbelt signs are on, and let's grab the weather real quick. Let's see here. I just want to get the day. 7. I know, isn't this great? This is B4. This is the beta 4. I'm not on 6 right now. This is still 4, and I have that new video card, the 5080, and it's really awesome. I love it. Okay, throttles to retard. Oh, the weather. Crap, I need to get the weather. Okay, weather at Barrow. The wind is 300 at 9, so we have a slight quartering headwind from the right. 10 statute miles visibility, overcast at 3,100 feet, so we'll break through that cloud layer with plenty of altitude to spare. Temperature -2, altimeter 259. That's it. Very similar weather to Prudhoe Bay, actually. So 2,959. We'll set that. Guys, I kind of want to fly another flight after this. I'm in the mood. This plane's flying so good tonight, I kind of want to take another one. Hey, congratulations. Welcome to the 21st century, dude. I've been rocking that stuff since day one. Okay, altimeters. Alright, engine start switches, continuous. Nope, wrong one, wrong one. Alright. Little choppy in here. Kind of in a weird boundary layer here or something. That looks a little odd. Oh, you can see that coming, huh? And then this is probably the last cloud layer we're going to have to traverse, and we should break out a little bit below 3,000 feet. This for the ATIS.
Thousand to go.
Okay, let's keep it going down. It's at 2,000 feet, missed approach. Throttle's idle. Why don't you just use SimBrief, dude? Wouldn't that be easier? Alright, heading down, crew. Exterior lights. Approach checklist complete. What do you mean random flight routes? You go in to SimBrief and you tell it where you want to go, right? Where are you going from, right? Departure, arrival. Put the airframe information in. Calculate the route, and it will find you a real world route that makes sense. And you can have it avoid SIGMETs and all that other stuff. It's not random. It's logical, good routing that you need to include the arrivals and departures. Runways, everything. Oh, I don't like random routes. I like logical routes that make sense. I don't even know what you're talking about. FS dispatch sounds... I don't know what that is. Enjoy. You do you, man. Okay. Sounds good. I crew 6,600 feet inbound. About 15 miles from the initial approach fix here. Oh, see, me being in a virtual airline, I get my flight route, I get my flight to and from and flight number from there, and then I grab whatever flight plan is available for that. But if you're not doing VA stuff, I could see you doing that would make sense. Should have a decel coming up. There it is. We are definitely in the weather, so that's why I have the HUD out. Should I put it in IMC mode? Put it back to primary if we break through this. We should be breaking through this around 3,000 feet. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Let's go speed, flaps 1. Let's keep the speed going down to 180. Speed checks, flaps 5. Barrow traffic, Alaska 7030 on the RNAV 26 approach. Alright, looking to break through this weather here any moment but now.
Now's good to go.
Big brakes arm.
$2,500.
Actually, no. We'll set that to 080 just in case. Okay, I'm breaking through the weather. Airport not in sight yet, but we'll keep it going down. Looking for the runway here. Alright, speed 160, flaps 15, gear down.
Now's good to go.
Oh, I see it. Way out there. Okay. Okay, I'll throttle off. Oh, correction, autopilot off. Auto throttle off.
Now's good to go.
Alright. We'll set misapproach altitude and misapproach heading. Flight director's off. Alright, final approach speed 135. Here, flaps 30. Okay, a little off center, correcting.
$1,000.
Light slow.
No,
Light slow.
that's not applicable.
Light slow. Light slow.
Yeah, that's the other.
Light slow. Light slow. Light slow. Light slow.
Alright. That's the reciprocal runway glide slope that we were picking up. A little crosswind here. Correcting. A little fast, correcting.
500. Plus 100. Minimums.
Continue.
One 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Oof! Ouch! Manual braking. Ah, a little rough there. I don't think we broke anything except my back. Ah. Maybe a couple of the fragile boxes in the back there. Ow, man. I don't know what it is about Alaska. I just feel like the plane's a lot more sluggish up here. I never have good landings up here. Alright, after landing checklist. Spoiler handle. Flaps. Auto brakes. Radar. Landing light. Runway turn off. Strobes. Anti-ice. Off. APU. Clock. Staff trim. Yeah, wasn't so great. I'm 0 for 2 in Alaska landings lately, man. Alright, let's taxi. Had the land checklist complete. Yeah, I don't think I blew any tires, but it wasn't my best work. I have not been having good landings lately. Okay, parking checklist, transponder, standby, AP generator. Fuel switches. Not my best landing. Let's see what Smart Cars thought it was. I think it finally worked. No, I didn't get my flight. Nope, it did not record my flight, so we'll have to do a manual for that. Bummer, man. Why didn't it capture my flight? Alright. How much fuel did we use? $2,000... 3,990 pounds. Okay. Now, let's see if there's something else. I don't even know if it's going to update the aircraft position here. I wanted to fly another flight, but if I have to fly that again, I really don't want to. Let's see what happens when I move this aircraft. Oh. Yeah, okay. And our flight time was 38 minutes. I know we don't have to do this manually here, so... Okay, well, I got it in. Let's see if it moved the aircraft here. Oh, please tell me it moved it. Yes, it did. Oh, right. So, let me ask you this, guys. It's going to kind of depend on what I do here. Should I fly this thing back to Anchorage, or should I just call it a night? Anchorage is going to be an hour and 40 minutes or so, which is kind of late for me. What would that make that? 10? I could probably get there before midnight. I don't know. I kind of want to, but not unless I got an audience. If you guys are done, I'll probably be done. So, fly back to Anchorage or call it a night? Just for fun, let's see what that looks like. Alaska 7031. We'll throw it in there just to see what it looks like. SA 7031, EABR, ANC, 737, 700. 2 hours and 10 minutes, so about an hour and 40 minutes flight time from Barrow back down to Anchorage, where this aircraft belongs. Let's check for SIGMETs. The SIGMET up here, but nothing there. Let's generate it. Airtime hour and 40 minutes. What do you guys think? Do it or no? No, not having any issue. Just my lack of piloting ability tonight. That's the only issue that I've had. Aircraft's flying great tonight, especially with the new update on there. All right. I don't want to do it. I'll tell you what, though, we're going to run a maximum cost index to get there faster. Let's see here. The route. I think I might do it. I do want to get this plane home. It's been sitting up at Barrow way too long. Ooh, what's that? That doesn't look right. That didn't look right at all. So Croto, go Yon. All right, let's see that. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so we need to set up weight and balance here. Yeah, dude, that Sparky is not working out for me, dude. I just... Uh-oh. The Sparky's not working for me, dude. I just don't... I don't fly it because it just is broken for me. That's why I don't... Approach rating poor. Okay. Whatever. Alright. Let's go ahead and keep setting this up. I'll be right back, guys. I just need to make sure my kids are asleep, and then we'll get this thing in here. Alright, let's quickly do this weight and balance so we can get in the air. I got a long flight here. Okay, block fuel 14,625. So let's add some fuel. 14,625. Let's get the truck rolling. And then payload update. We're going to take on a few extra 1,000 pounds here. So we need to get up to 33.9. CG's still good as we take on more fuel that'll shift further out. That's good. Alright, weight and balance is set. Reserves are 7. Cost index 100. Cruising altitude is going to be 370, but we'll see if we can go higher. Cruise wind 220 at 7. 222 at 7. That's basically no wind. Average ISA is plus 7, so that's going to make it minus 50 Celsius. We are putting on fuel right now. Alright, let's reset our checklist to make sure I didn't miss anything here. I have not. There's something about the Embraers that just drives me nuts. That upside down yoke is so ugly. I just can't drive myself to fly that thing. I don't know what it is. It's just an ugly plane. Cockpit anyway. Alright. Position FMC is programmed, but we're waiting on fuel. Let's go ahead and get the N1 limits in for now. So let's get a new takeoff performance here. Alright, our performance looks like we'll be about 130, 133 on the takeoff weight. 133 on the takeoff weight. Calculate. Okay. Flaps 5, DTO 53, 122, 131, 135. Not a lot of stop margin on this. The surface condition is wet. So D rate 53 gives us a takeoff N1 setting of 87.9, flaps 5, CG 5.5, 122, 131, and 135 on the rotation speed. Still taking on a little bit more fuel there. Alright, so the legs are good. And takeoff is good. Let's just go ahead and get ready to get in the air. Alright, fuel quantity is set. Flight altitude 37 plus 1. Landing altitude at Anchorage is going to be let's call it 100 for now. 150. FMC is checked. Flight directors on. Auto throttle on. MCP airspeed 135. MCP heading 260. MCP altitude 370. Altimeters are cross-checked. 2959. Let's get a weather update. Alright, 11 minutes ago, wind is 340 at 7. 1 statute mile visibility, snowing. Scattered at 700 feet. Oh, this is definitely IFR. Broken at 1400. Overcast at 23. -3, -4, 2959. Ooh. This will be fun. This is definitely IFR conditions here. Okay, auto brakes, RTO. Radios are set, nav is set, TCAS. Tell you what, let me do this. We need to change our flight number, and I need to file this flight plan. So pre-file on a network, VATSIM. Let's see here. Okay, flight plan is filed, so let's go ahead and change our call sign. Three 530. Okay, TCAS is set. Taxi takeoff departure brief. Let's do that real quick. So we're on the ground at Barrow. We're gonna push back here. Taxi to runway to taxiway Charlie. Left turn onto runway 26. Back taxi. Do a 180 and depart. We're gonna fly to runway heading to 400 feet. Then we're gonna go direct to our first waypoint, which is Kut D. Threats, no threats here. We got plenty of fuel, I think. Well, let's see what the fuel situation is looking like. I think we need to take on a little bit more fuel here. Let's add a couple thousand extra pounds of fuel. and then we'll redo our takeoff data for that extra weight. Doesn't change much. Oh, okay. TO 145. Let's put that. Let's update this. M1 is now 87.1. Okay, that's not real change. V speed 123. 132. 135. Everything else the same. Alright. Alright, that's good. Taxi takeoff departure brief is set. Lower MFD. Engine. APU's on. Doors and windows. Good. Yaw dampers on. Electric hydraulic pumps on. Fuel pumps are on. Parking brake is set. Are we still taking on fuel? Yep. APU generators. Wheel chocks. Ground power unit. Fuel truck should be wrapping up here in a second. Looking a bit better with our fuel situation. There we go. Okay. Anti-collision lights. Trim air, bleed it. Engine bleeds are off. APU bleeds are on. Ignition left for starting. ACARs. Let's see if we can get ACARs to work this time. Alright, there we go. That's a lot better. ACARs is operating. Push to start clearance.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up. Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, clear to connect. So that's why. Yeah, man, I've really tried to love that 747. I just can't. And I do appreciate that it's freeware and they put a lot of work into getting it to that state. I'm not knocking it. It's just not for me. Not in the condition that it's in.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Right there will do.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Oh, hey, Camilo, definitely X-Plane. No question about it. I can't stand Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can't do it, man. Alright, crew, we're clear for push. X checklist. Alright, let's push.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, starting engine 1. Rotation into. I tell you what, Camilo, if you want to stick around for a few minutes, I'll be happy to explain them. I have a lot of fuel on. I have a lot of complaints with Microsoft Flight Simulator. It'll give us something to talk about once I'm up in the air. Give me five or 6 minutes and we'll talk about it. Okay, good start on 1. Starting 2. Rotation in 2. Oil pressure's on the rise. Fuel on. Fuel flow, EGT. Okay, good start on engine number 1. Number 2. At the start checklist, engine and wing anti-ice coming on. Engine bleeds on. APU bleeds off. Packs on. Isolation valve closed. Engine bleed. Engine.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
APU coming off. Way down ground signal. Let's go ahead and move over to taxi checklist. Flaps 5, stab trim set 6 degrees, aircraft nose up. Takeoff data is checked 123, 131, 135. Takeoff thrust setting 86.1. Transponder PARA, taxi light, lower MFD. Taxi clearance. Alright, let me grab my taxi chart here.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
AC on the left. Take care. Alright. ABR traffic, good afternoon. Alaska 7031, taxi to runway 26 via Alpha Charlie, back taxi 26. Alright, crew. Let's try it again. Okay, nozzle steering and brakes are checked, light controls. Ailerons left, ailerons right, elevator up, down, rudder left, rudder right. Okay, clear right, clear left. Alright, lower MFD. ENAV. LNAV. Nope, no LNAV. Heading select. Light cast, no alerts. Clear lights. Radar. Okay, Windows. Start switch is continuous. Take off clearance. Barrow traffic, Alaska 7031 departing runway 26 south departure. Alright. Okay, let's do some ice shedding here on the brakes. Okay, stabilize. Power's coming up to 70%. Start the clock. Okay, at 30 seconds, we'll go ahead and hit it. Close enough. Right, brakes release, set takeoff thrust. Bumpy runway here.
Knots.
Hold.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Laps 1. Laps up. Still here, Camilo? Let me know. I'm ready to have that conversation. Alright, let me know if you hear Camilo. I'll be happy to tell you about why I don't like Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright, autopilot coming on. At the takeoff checklist, landing gear up, lights out. Flaps and slats up. Auto brakes off. ICAST alerts, exterior lights. Engine start switches. Holding for altimeters.
1,000 to go.
Hey, Cookie, how you doing? Sorry, I was I was kind of spacing out here. I had a lot of viewers on earlier, but I decided to do an extra flight, so I think a lot of people didn't want to stick around for the extra leg to Anchorage. But welcome aboard, man. Are you a subscriber to my channel, or are you a first-time viewer? From Southern California. I live about an hour and a half away from Los Angeles, kind of in between San Diego and Los Angeles. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I do wargaming content and a lot of flight sim stuff, and I only fly X-Plane 12. I do have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but I can't stand it. I just can't. I'm not a fan of it, so I do all my flying in X-Plane 12, and I really enjoy it. Hey, level up, flight level 370. What do we got? 484 miles to Anchorage, 384 till top of descent. Poland. Hey, you know, I just did a live stream with a guy from Poland a couple days ago. His name is Casper. He's a A320 pilot, and we did a live stream together in the A321, and it's on my channel if you want to watch it. Really nice guy, and he taught me a lot about how to fly Airbus, because I don't know Airbus very well, and he's a real A320 pilot, so that was really fun. And he's also from Poland, although he told me he's moving to Romania in a few days. On my Discord server, I have a Discord server. I have quite a few Polish people on there too. I really like them. Polish people are cool to me. I had a bunch of friends that went to Poland last month for work, and they brought me. Oh, you're Casper too. Is that a common name? Is that a common name in Poland? Sounds like it is. I'll bet your last name ends in S-K-I. So I would say that's a very common name. Maybe Casper, Casper in Polish is like John or Chris in English. That must be that's the Polish version of the name Chris, which is probably the most common name we got here. Okay, yeah, Christian, yep. Oh, your last name has a lot of Polish letters? Yeah, I wouldn't know how to pronounce it very well then. I don't have a good Polish accent. Yeah, I have no idea what those letters are. It's 22:26 p.m. or not p.m. but it's 10:26 p.m. here in California. I normally don't fly this late at night, but I wanted to relocate this aircraft back down to Anchorage for other pilots to fly. So I thought I'd just take it because we were up here. I don't know if you're familiar with Alaska, but the aircraft was up here at Barrow, which is basically the northern tip of Alaska. And I'm trying to relocate it back down to Anchorage, which is probably the main airport of all of Alaska. It's just kind of like a hub for this plane to be at. Oh, excellent. Thank you, man. Nice to have you aboard. Are you Shihatsu? Yep. I think so. I see Polish in your... I already see Polish in, yeah. That's a cute dog you've got, man. You like Shih Tzus, huh? I have a mutt. She's a mix between a pit bull, Australian Shepherd, German Shepherd, and a poodle. It's the big mutt. I like German Shepherds a lot. Those are really good dogs. Oh, wow. Your parents bought an actual legit Shih Tzu in Japan and brought it back to Poland. That's really cool. That's a legit dog, man. You have an authentic one. All the ones here in the United States are not authentic. They were born here. Is that Huzia and Barrow? Is that how you say that? Yeah, my dog is, how old is she? She's 10. I got her in 2014, August. She'll be turning 11 this year. Wow, I can't believe it. No, I got her in 2015. Alright, so she's 10. She's turning 10 right now. Yeah. I would love to see it. Let me, why don't you post a link to it? Pacific Intercontinental Airways. That's pretty cool. Do you have a website and all that for your airline? Okay. Yeah, I don't either. I'm not very good with graphics and things like that. I don't know how to do that stuff either. I fly for this virtual airline. I'll show you. This is the virtual airline that I fly for. UPS Virtual Air Cargo. And this is Alaska Airlines cargo right now, but this is like a partner airline for us, so I'm able to fly flights for Alaska Air Cargo and log them as flights for UPS. That's correct. Alaska 7031, right here. ASA 731. I'm on VATSIM right now. Flying from Barrow to Anchorage. There you go. What are you tracking me on? VATSIM radar or something else? There's so many flight tracking options now. A year ago, I didn't think there was anything like it. Now you got Volanta and this other thing. You have Navigraph, you have VATSIM radar. There's so many options. Yep, I'm flying in a really remote part of the world right now. Alaska is pretty barren, so not a lot of people fly up here, especially at this time of night. There's only, in this whole region of the world, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us flying around here. There's Poland's a lot busy. Well, I mean, it's not a whole lot busier, but Europe's a little bit more busy. Oh yeah, where I live, I have really good internet, so I can be online, you know, anytime, and my internet's really strong, so it's no issue for me here. Time of day, you can be online day or night, anytime, and the internet's always good here. I didn't know that. I thought maybe all the European internet would be really good, but maybe it's not. Oof. 20 megabit per second? That's really slow. I have... Oh my god. 0.10 upload? That's terrible. I have 200... Here, you want to see something fun? Watch this, dude. Ready for this? This is going to make you really upset. Watch this. You're gonna get mad, man. Look at that, dude. And that's the cheap internet. I could get 1,000 megabits per second up and down if I spent more money. Hey, Casper, it's nice to meet you. I hope to see you on a future live stream and over on my Discord server. You have a great day at school. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye. Always nice meeting new people on these streams. That's why I like to do this stuff. Meeting people from all over the world here. So that was pretty cool. Nice young man, that guy. What's up, man? Welcome back. Up at descent's at 12 past 6, so we'll start our descent planning here in about 15 minutes. Bit of a wind shift there. Getting tired. Okay, auto brakes 131. Alright, so flaps, approach speed 131. Auto brakes 1. Keaton at or above 11, Proto 9,250 knots, Tom at 5,000, ILS 15 approach, DB card at 3,000, Kansas 1600 for the 3-degree glide slope down to the runway threshold, 151 feet, minimums are 351 Barrow. MSA 5,600 feet. Missed approach, climbed 800, and then climbing right, turn to 3,000 feet, heading 200. Outbound at 10 VOR. The QCAP 15 DME from 10 and hold. 11175, 149. Barrow set. Alright, ready for descent. Just need a few more minutes. Alright, heading down. Alright, let's check the weather at Anchorage. And 20 minutes ago, information uniform, wind 140, 14, gusting 29. Oh! 953, view plus 4,500. Huh. That's quite the gust. That's a 15 knot gust. 15 knot gust. Let's add half the gust. Let's go plus 12. Our approach speed is going to be 143 at flaps 30 due to the gust. Okay, it's gonna get a little bumpy here as we go through these clouds. Okay, airspeed's getting a little high. I'm gonna put some speed brake in. Okay, on transition altitude, 2953. Start switches to continuous. Okay, we're a little high. See if I can bleed off some altitude here with some speed brake. Ah, ground contact. Okay, starting to decel here. Alright, speed brakes. Retract. Exterior lights.
1,000 to go.
I'm gonna put a more speed brake in to help us get down a little faster. We're about 500 feet high on the profile right now. Still descending with the speed brakes out. Okay, let's arm approach mode. Hey, localizer captured. I'm gonna arm approach. I'm sorry, that was VOR localizer. Let's arm approach mode. Alright, speed brakes, street track. We're okay with those. Okay, I got DME to the threshold. IBSC. 21 miles to go. Okay, 16 miles out. Airport's in sight. I don't see the runway yet. Oh, there it is. Runway in sight. Let's go flaps 1. Okay, glide slope's coming in now. Flaps 5. Okay, glide slope captured. We go gear down. Flaps 15. Anchorage traffic, Alaska 7031 on the ILS 15 approach. Alright, before landing check, the landing gear down 3 greens, four handles armed. Auto brakes, minimum 1. Laps 30 set. Missed final approach speed. 143. Altimeter's cross check 2953. ICAST no alerts. Landing clearance. Clear land.
2,500.
Okay, autopilot's coming off. Auto's coming off. Twenty knot quartering crosswind from the left. A little bit high, braking.
One thousand.
Get a little bit low, braking. I can feel those gusts now.
500. Plus 100. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Brake to the center line.
Knots.
And you're braking. Okay, we'll take this high speed here. Here's Mike. You have to land checklist, spoiler handle. Flaps, auto brakes, radar, landing light, runway turn off, strobes, engine start switches off, APU, clock, depth trim. Anchorage traffic, Alaska 70, 31, clear runway 15 at Mike, taxi to the north cargo ramp via Romeo, Anchorage. Hi crew. Activated checklist complete. Under 11 feet per minute. I'll take it. Looks like we got a FedEx 777 coming in right behind us here. I was on the wrong frequency. Oops. Parking's coming up.
For FedEx 5286, 10 mile final, 5 Anchorage.
Mark the checklist.
Traffic lines, or Mayor, FedEx 5286, 5 mile putt, American putt.
Oops, text late. Oh, alright, that was a lot of flying. I think I've been online for quite a while, so I'm gonna go to bed. But I'm glad I got this aircraft back to Anchorage where it belongs. So, for those of you that stuck around for the bulk of this, I appreciate it. Landing was pretty good. A little floaty, and a little off center line. That's my only regret. But other than that, it's good. I think we'll stick around and watch this 777 land, and then we'll call it a night. A little gusty. Not bad. 7 out of 10. That wasn't that bad. That was
Air traffic, FedEx 5286, vacating runway 15. Taxing via Romeo, FedEx.
Alright guys, good night.